Hello sewing friends! Today I just have a quick video on how I adjusted the needle bar height for my sewing machine. I'm not a trained professional, but I do have 30 years of sewing experience and I am self-taught on machine maintenance. In the past year, I've restored this secondhand Singer 9420 from a non-functioning state to a perfectly functioning state. So let's get started. So first off, you're going to want to make sure you have your sewing machine set to zigzag on the wide stitch, because you're going to want to use this setting when you're testing the stitches after you've adjusted the needle bar height. If they're on the narrow width, sometimes it will give you a good stitch and then it won't work on the wider width. If your needle bar height needs adjusted, your stitches are going to skip. So I have my needle bar just a little bit low. And my stitches are skipping. And this is because this is only off by a couple of millimeters. So let's adjust that. To work on our needle bar height, we want to go ahead and remove all the thread, and then you're going to take out this screw that holds on the cover on the left side of the machine. You'll want to remove that screw, and then we're going to take off the cover. So first off, you're going to want to make sure you have your sewing machine set to zigzag on the wide stitch, because you're going to want to use this setting when you're testing the stitches after you've adjusted the needle bar height. So in order to adjust this bar, you are going to turn the wheel that's on the right side of the machine toward you until this screw is in view. And then you will loosen this screw so that your needle bar can slide up and down. You don't need to loosen the screw too much for the bar to be movable. You just want to loosen it enough that you can move the bar. And then you're going to adjust the height of your needle. I can see the screw right in here, and if I'm looking at the machine straight on, that screw is right in the middle of that section right here. You can unscrew it just a little bit, like it barely takes a turn, and now this bar is movable. So you want to keep this piece pointed straight at your machine, and you are going to put your needle so that it looks like the hole or the eye is sitting right at the opening in your needle plate. Once you've got it there, go ahead and tighten that screw back down. I do find this a little bit annoying because now I have to raise my needle back up to the full height and make sure that it is in the right position. I found that the perfect height on my machine is 12 millimeters from the needle plate to the tip of the needle. I have heard that 14 to 15 millimeters is correct for older machines. However, when I tried these measurements, I did not get a proper stitch. At 15 millimeters, the stitches would not pick up at all. On the 14 millimeter, the right side stitches did not pick up. On 13, it dropped the occasional stitch. On 12, it worked correctly on all the settings. And then when I tried 11, it dropped stitches on the left side of the stitch. So your results may vary from mine. So you're going to want to check your machine and make sure that your stitches are working right before you put your machine back together. You can adjust the bar slightly depending on what you're getting for your stitch pattern. My other machine does require 14 millimeter, so I would suggest setting it and then testing the stitches before putting the cover back on. Looks like it is working correctly. So we can see these were stitches where the bar was not at the correct height. It was still skipping. Or these. So now we know it's at the right height because we have tested and we've got a zigzag that is appropriately stitched. But now we've got it on the wide width working. So let's do it on a smaller width zigzag. So I've moved it to a more narrow width. Our narrow width is working. That is these right here. This is our wide, this is our narrow, and we can shorten them or elongate them if we want. Now I'm going to show you one of my other stitches here. I like to test them too because occasionally I've had it where my height wasn't quite right and it would not do these stitches properly. We're gonna go with this one. This is stitch number 11. And we can see it is working right there. Well, that's all I have today, and I hope it was informative for you and helpful for what you were looking for. If it was, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you are interested in sewing content, go ahead and stay tuned, hit subscribe, because that is all I do on this channel. And for now, I hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.